Plastics take the stage at an international exhibit in Amsterdam. The ingenious alchemy of coal and oil provides the material. Ingenious machinery presses and stamps and molds the material into a wide variety of products, articles for household use, as well as tools for industry. The horizons of plastic are lengthening and strengthening, too. In the world of tomorrow, plastics will certainly call the tune.
Plastic pollution has been a problem for a while, but it is getting worse. As our climate is actively changing, new studies have shown that as plastics decay, they release two powerful greenhouse gases, making plastic a big contributor to climate change. Beyond climate change, most plastic ends up in our oceans, making ocean life suffer and die, and even cause plastic to end up in our food chain. It is important to understand where the plastic we produce ends up, and the effect it has on wildlife. It is important as well to understand how society and companies are changing the way plastic is used. And it is important to focus on alternatives and solutions so generations ahead can still have a world to live in. Plastics are ending up in the ocean and even in the food chain. McLaughlin, a biology teacher at Penn State Lehigh Valley, acknowledges that plastic polymers are not biodegradable. Therefore, fungi cannot absorb them. This comes following a look at the different types of plastic in the ocean. McLaughlin focuses on the Eastern Garbage Patch, a 10 million square mile stretch of ocean filled with garbage. This goes beyond just plastic washed up on beaches and shows that even more plastic is out in the middle of the ocean, just floating around, unable to break down. Think about that the next time you choose to use a single-use plastic product, like plastic water bottles, plastic straws, or plastic shopping bags. The plastic in the ocean is ending up inside of sea life, and even us. McLaughlin states, we speculate about what it means to the food chain that microscopic pieces of plastic are drifting like fish food throughout the water, mimicking plankton, the food supply of most aquatic life. Plastic is clearly affecting the oceanic life very negatively, as most life in the ocean are eating plastic when they think they are eating food. Other animals also eat whole pieces of plastic, which is why more often than lately we have seen sea life, like whales washing up on shore, filled with plastic. And if that doesn't concern you, consider how much plastic is being formed into our own diets. We are eating seafood, and if you think about it, you can come to the conclusion that plastic is becoming a part of many of our diets, and is entirely our fault. This serves as a reflection of the powerful effects humans have on the earth. However, society is slowly but surely changing the way plastic is used. Starbucks, a major coffee chain across the world, is launching a new clear recyclable lid in order to be as sustainable as possible. Indy Corlett, Director of Global Packaging Solutions and Innovations at Starbucks, states, "It sounds dramatic, but this lid is going to get used about 1 billion times a year. It's going to take billions of single-use plastic straws off the market." Starbucks hopes to change the way people use plastic for good and get rid of non-recyclable straws. This could be a big step to reducing the production of plastic, because without the need for single-use plastic items like straws, there is no point in producing them.
Sustainability and environmental leadership have always been two key issues that are of main concerns of Starbucks partners as well as our customers. And Starbucks is proud to have been able to make a difference in both those areas for a very, very long time. Of late, the issue of single-use plastics has been of extreme concern for us around the world, and particularly here at home, where we can make the biggest difference. So Starbucks has made significant strides towards recyclability of our serveware, both paper cups and plastic cups, as well as the goal to eliminate single-use plastic straws by the year 2022 from all of our stores. In certain areas around the country, we've already made great strides to be able to do that. And in California, we've actually already eliminated single-use plastic straws from many of our stores and our locations around the state.
Starbucks is not the only company to act on this environmental problem. Many others are too, especially around the world. The UN Environment has more than 50 countries signed up for their UN Environment Clean Seas campaign. The UN Environment Clean Seas campaign is an initiative to reduce plastic pollution, especially into the ocean. The UN Environment says that big and small businesses are already making changes to the way they use plastic. Nestle and Unilever both pledged to make all its plastic packaging reusable or recyclable by 2025. Volvo said that at least 25% of plastics used in their new car models would be recyclable. And Evian will make all its plastic bottles from recyclable plastic. These are just a few examples of companies that are changing their uses. There are many more. With people changing the way they use plastic every day, we start to look ahead to see if there is even a solution to the damage we have done. The solutions to plastic pollution may be limited due to the shape our oceanic ecosystem is in today. Vince and Hardesty argue that plastic pollution in the marine environment is a challenging control issue. Where it would be ideal for the environment to return to the way it was before the plastic era, that is very unlikely. It remains as an example of a challenge where successfully taking care of our environment and taking responsibility for what goes into the ocean and controlling it would likely make for a healthier global oceanic ecosystem. This goes to show how much we've let the ecosystem be destroyed by plastic. And it may sound like there is no hope left or reason for trying to improve our planet, but there is some hope. Vince and Hardesty also argue that an integrated approach that uses scientific expertise, community participation, and market-based strategies are needed to significantly reduce the global plastic pollution problem. This means people stop using plastic and go for alternatives, or at least something that isn't single-use. And community participation isn't hard to get when people realize how jeopardized the Earth is. And beyond that, researchers and others need to find out how to reduce plastic pollution through research and new studies. The solutions are not easy given the toll plastic has already taken on this beautiful planet.
At Starbucks, we recognize that almost all of our drinks are served in cups, both paper and plastic, that are potentially items that could show up in landfills or in our waterways and our oceans around the country. And we've gone to great lengths to make sure that our items are recyclable and becoming more and more recyclable as time goes on, because we take the environment seriously. Our partners around the country, our customers, and the leadership at Starbucks own the responsibility for making a difference in our world and have gone to great lengths to reduce the presence of single-use plastics in our supply chain and thus in our stores and in our customers' hands around the country.
Plastic pollution is a serious environmental issue that needs to be acted on. So much plastic is in our oceans just sitting there because it can't go anywhere. Plastic and other waste products don't just disappear after you throw them away. They go somewhere, and they always do. We just keep producing more and more plastic every day, and more plastic is ending up in the wild and in the ocean, killing tons of wildlife and oceanic life. Many people and companies are cutting down on the use of plastic, and so should you, because if we keep mass-producing plastic and letting it ruin the world, pretty soon we won't have a planet to live on anymore.
My name is Emma Powers, and I always reuse my water bottles because it's bad for the environment and it'll hurt the turtles, the polar bears, all the animals out there.
Okay, I'm Sophia Nordstrom. I'm a student at BHS and I reuse my water bottle.
And I'm a BHS student and I use metal straws.